Hello everybody, a few things on my mind, good in a way. I feel less burdensome, shedding of burdens, new beginnings, less This is something I want to talk about, this is something I know about, and I'm hoping to embark this year on a bit of travelling across Europe, possibly into Asia Minor, quite probably, in spite of the problems on one side of it, to experience its beauty and nature and history, rich culture, etc., and work with some animals and on a sanctuary, and to go around the other Balkans a bit, and maybe go some stage, maybe more than a year, France and Spain, and I would like to see Scandinavia as well, I think, Finland, not Germany, well maybe Italy, but how many languages can you get through? It's and largely doing outdoor work and camping wild, sort of small holding animal type work, or farming or with animals. It's because I think the way of life would just be very calming, very therapeutic, and very useful. I mean, not lucrative, unfortunately. Well, not yet. Although the experiences and some of the skills may prove useful for that end, or at least as a means of barter if we have to do away with money at some point. Who knows? Or partially, or self-sufficiency, of course. I'm not managing to be as fluent with this as I wanted to be. I'll try and liven things up a bit more. Interesting news, Douglas Carswell has left UKIP, their only MP, and I've given about 5 payments now of £10 to monthly payments to J4MB, the Justice for Men and Boys, and the Women Who Love Them Party. Giving me silver membership, and I attended their conference last year. As you may have guessed, the theme is leaving. I may do a preemptive Douglas Carswell with them. I just think, partly because I'm paying them, and the conference was expensive, and partly because of the way I feel. I mean, most of the videos I have on here about going no contact and recovering from narcissistic abuse. Well, it struck me, I'm sorry to say, I'm not very comfortable with a lot of the people involved. I mean, perhaps I just don't have the stomach, that was bang on cue a few seconds ago, for politics, particularly not at this present time, even though I feel strongly something should be done, and I do have a lot of sympathies with what they're trying to do. I get the impression that sort of unwanted in a way. I mean, I know I'm not close to them yet anyway, and I like what they write and I like some of the things they do, but it almost sounds too limiting as well. They want 20 candidates in 2020. That in itself sounds a bit autistic, and I can't say I found many of the people involved warm, and in some ways quite gynocentric, the number of women involved, and I don't mind the women involved so long as they're good people. And I've not seen that right the way across the board in some of my social encounters. Some relationships take a bit longer with people, don't they? I mean, you don't expect to get on with everybody to begin with, but I just felt very out on a limb, really, and even some quite well-known people seem to be poo-pooing and gaslighting me a little bit. And maybe I shouldn't get too worked up about it, but it just strikes me as, no, this isn't really me. I wanted it to be, and I was over the moon that people are taking this more seriously and organising more, but I can't help thinking that nearly everybody involved, or several of the people involved, have very malignant narcissistic tendencies themselves, and they often dangle on the autistic spectrum, so we have that in common, or that appears to be in common. And in some ways that's refreshing. That would be refreshing for politics if people took it seriously. But as other people have pointed out, like Random McCann, Mike Stevenson, it's the fact that you don't have presence as a speaker and communicator with people because you don't have that social... sadly, I mean, I think it gives it a good flavour, and he's sort of saying it's, well, that's what sets it apart. And who knows, there may come a time where that bridge gets more, gets bridged. That bridge gets built. And I don't think I got enough sleep. Not quite enough. And you do find something a bit more refreshing than a guy who still drinks and smokes a lot and bellows at people stridently, like Nigel Farage. But it's, which I quite liked in a way. I thought that had its appeal, but that has its limits too. I'm glad that we have left Europe, or no, we haven't, but in spite of the travelling, yeah, we want to travel in Europe. We want to marry them and everything, of course, and speak all their languages. Makes you wonder what Brexit was all about, really. But no, but I understand. I don't like the dictatorial nature of what the European Parliament seems to be doing. The fact that there was one, an EU, not a common market. Or it was European Community before that. Yep, don't want to teach my grandmother to suck eggs. And you don't always want your nan to try and teach you trigonometry, do you? But yes, so I will probably be cancelling that and going my own way for a bit longer.